Alright friends, today I've got something really cool I want to show you. It's this DIY minimalist wallet. It's essentially a copy of the Ridge wallet, which is a very popular minimal wallet that is just the footprint of your cards themselves. And I've actually made this myself using a cutting board. You can see this is just a very small cutting board. I purchased it at Walmart, but you could find them all over the place for pretty inexpensive cost. This was 88 cents, and I only used a couple of hand tools to actually create this wallet, and I'm going to do a completely different video of just talking about how this holds up and what I think about it. If you want to watch that video, it'll be posted up shortly after I post this video, so just check out the channel, and if it is posted, I'll put the little pop-up in the corner so you could just click that. But let's get into the tutorial. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to do it very quickly so that we can get through it. If I missed anything, please just let me know. If you want to learn how I actually did something that you didn't see in the video and I just happened to miss, then I will help you out however I can. Lastly, I'm going to put the cards back in the wallet so that you can see how it works. I'll do one at a time. It's very simple, and I don't think that it's going to function any differently than the wallets available on the market right now. So yeah, it's really easy, and I would say that it holds up very well. So let's get started. I hope you like it, and if you do decide to make one of these wallets, I'd love to see an example of it. So just comment down below and let me know if you do make it, and I hope it helps you guys out. Let's get to it. So you can see here that I'm just trying to get the cutting board down to the right size. This is going to be the exact copy of a credit card dimension, and I'm just matching up the credit card here to make sure that my cuts were proper. I will say that cutting it with a Leatherman tool is a little bit difficult, and I couldn't end up with perfectly straight lines. They are very, very close for a handheld saw, but they still are kind of crooked if you really look closely at it. It's hard to tell, but you can see some imperfections there. Filing it down with this Leatherman file is probably the most effective in my opinion because the file is so good on this tool. I really tried to do this with just like one or two tools just to make sure that it is possible to do. And if you have a hacksaw, it'll be easier to actually cut this piece of cutting board because the hacksaw is a little bit larger and allows you to do longer cuts. And this bigger file, it does work, it's just not as effective as the file on the Leatherman. I think because it's a little bit older, it doesn't have the best edge on it. But I used this for most of the filing, and then I used a sanding block to get down to the fine details and really smooth out all the edges. This was a very effective way to do it. I just used a 2x4 that was cut down, and I wrapped it with 150 sandpaper, which I kind of use as an all-purpose sandpaper. That's probably my go-to for a lot of projects that need sanding. It offers a decent amount of finishing while being coarse enough to really get down some material quickly and effectively. So here I'm just really trying to sand down one edge that was a little bit longer than the other. It's hard to match up these two pieces of cutting board. You could tell that I'm using very primitive techniques here, and that was on purpose. A lot of the times whenever I'm doing a project like this, I'll just be doing it in my studio and want to get it done and finished. I don't want to use power tools or anything because that just adds another step. I know that if you used power tools it would be a lot faster and more effective, but just for the purpose of this video and just the way that I work, really, I typically use just hand tools, even if it's going to take a little bit longer. And it's a good example of what you can do with just a couple tools. Also, it's important to note that this notch here is very important. I tried to use this wallet without this notch, and it made it a lot harder. It's very integral to the design, so make sure that you add it if you want this wallet to function properly. Now I'm making the band. I tried to thread this thing, but realistically you could just use super glue. It's just a regular elastic band that you could purchase at Walmart or any sort of hobby store. I think it was about $1 or $2. And here I'm trying to file down a groove on the edge of the wallet so that it could hold that elastic band in place. I noticed that while I was using this without this little groove here, it didn't really make the wallet function well, because every time I went to pull cards out of the wallet, the whole wallet would actually swivel and kind of move back and forth because there is no security holding the two pieces in position. With these little grooves here, I would say it's a lot more effective and actually functions like you would imagine one of these wallets to. It doesn't really move around at all. Even though some of my cuts are a little bit off and they don't match up 100%, still does the job very well. One of the things that I did that I don't know if I show in this video was actually adding a smooth angle on the interior edge of the wallet itself. Right here I'm kind of demonstrating that. You can see that right here it makes the cards enter the wallet a lot easier than if there was just a hard edge on the interior wall, so it makes the cards slip into place. And now I'm pretty much done with the thing. I did have to do two sides of the wallet, which actually would take double the amount of time that I spent in this video, but just for the sake of demonstration, you understand the overall concept here, and I don't think I have to make two of these perfectly symmetrical cutouts on one video. And I'm just sanding it down with some wet sandpaper and finishing up all the edges, and finally I actually use a lighter to make sure that all the little pieces of plastic aren't hanging off of it. It kind of adds the finishing touch. But it's finished, so let's jump back to the studio and I'll tell you my thoughts. So that was the creation of this cool minimal wallet. I hope you really enjoyed it and you find some use out of this project and tutorial. I think it's a really fun one, and you come out with a very cool stormtrooper looking wallet like this. It's so small, it fits right in the palm of my hand. There's so many different options for it. You can make it your own however you want. And just as a reference, this is my old wallet, which is a very small leather bifold, and I'm really enjoying this one a lot more. There is a little bit more functionality with this thing, but it just feels really big and bulky in my pocket, whereas this one feels very nice, slim. It's just a sexy design. And for something that you can make at your house with just a couple tools, nobody's gonna think that you made this yourself, because look at that thing. That thing is just really, really cool. I mean, it was exceeding my expectations whenever I thought about making this, and it's holding up really well. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I think that it can hold up against competitors on the market. It only costs $3 to make, and even less in some stores. You might be able to find these products for under $2 in total, which would be incredible. I mean, this is a great wallet. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please share it with your friends and family if you think that it was a really cool DIY and you want to make it yourself. Go out there and try it yourself and let me know how it goes. Post the comments down below to tell me if you made it yourself, and then we'll report back on this wallet in a couple weeks, and I'll be doing a giveaway for it because I want to test it out and compare it to an actual minimal wallet similar to this one. And that's going to sum up the video for today. I hope that you enjoyed. Get out there and create your own adventure however you can. Spread some positivity in your life and others around you. And I'll see you on the next project or adventure, DIY, experiment, whatever it might be. See you later.